Today we are going to be talking about dating. Hello everyone, welcome back to Faith and Rainbows. Today we are continuing a series called My Grandfather's Bible. In this series, we are covering my grandfather's Bible and reading through his notes, wisdom, and scripture. He gave me permission to read his notes and make a video about it and share it with you. He has a section about dating, and we're going to be going through those verses and reading any notes that we find of his on the way. So this is going to be, thy word have I hidden in mine heart, that I might not sin against thee. Watch ye and pray, lest ye enter into temptation. The spirit truly is ready, but the flesh is weak. That's a good one. And the most coolest thing just happened. A cardinal just flew out my window, and it was a male, so it was red. And cardinals always remind me of God's love, so I think that's really cool that that just happened during this video. Okay, next. And be ye not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Flee from fornication. Every sin that a man doeth is outside the body, but he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body. That's good, okay? Wherefore, come out among them and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. Finally, brethren, whatever things are true, whatever things are honest, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things. He has written beside that Philippians 4, and each verse of Philippians 4 has a note on how to conquer worrying. For verse 8, which is what we just read, it said that it means to ponder right thoughts. That's what verse 8 represents. How to help you conquer worrying is think right thoughts. Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word, in conduct, in love, in spirit, in faith, in purity. I think that's really good. Flee also youthful lust, but follow righteousness, faith, love, peace with them that call on the Lord out of a pure heart. Ooh, that's really good. So in that passage, he underlined flee and follow. He must be underlining the action points in that sentence. So that's to flee youthful lust and to follow righteousness, faith, love, peace with them that call on the Lord out of a pure heart. So two things in that sentence, flee and follow. So he gave you one thing to go away from and one thing to go to. That's really good. I love how that's written, that Paul wrote that. Whew. So he's not going to say flee and then just leave you hanging. He actually gave you a place to go when you flee. He gave you something to follow. Since we're reading in 2 Timothy, he also has written at the top factors that make up a man of God. And he has parental upbringing, spiritual friendship, spiritual endowment, spiritual gifts, God-given crucible, and personal discipline. He went through and underlined or circled all of the things that spoke that to him in 2 Timothy. Flee and follow were two of those words. Editor, so apparently I skipped over one of the verses, so I'm gonna read it really quickly and do a voiceover of it. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. But then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. And this is the last one. Dearly beloved, I beseech you as sojourners and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lust which war against the soul. So that means that that's an attack on you from the devil. Okay, so as a summary reading all of those verses on dating, I definitely learned that I mean, I already know, I've read a lot of those verses, but I love how they were all put together for dating. And I think that that's really wise of him that he put that, to think about that before you're dating, to keep those things in mind. And they're not only to keep you in mind, it's almost like you will come across them, because any good thing that God does, like a relationship with someone, a man of God or a woman of God, that's a good thing. We've also talked about marriage, and we know that marriage is a nature of God. Like, it's something that he created, it's his design. And so anytime God does something good, most likely, I'm gonna say most always in our life, the devil is going to try to attack that and try to keep that away from you, because it says in John 10:10 that the thief cometh not but for steal and to kill and to destroy. But God comes, but I have come that they may have life and they may have it more abundantly. That being said, the devil is going to try to steal what God's doing in your life. He's going to try to take it. He's going to try to destroy it. He's going to try to kill it off. So anything that is good in your life, like a relationship, a godly relationship, there definitely needs to be boundaries. There definitely needs to be encouragement. And so almost when I read that, it almost gave me the impression that we will come across those obstacles, because it's part of going through something good. And those are the specific ways that the devil plans to attack, is through fleshly lust and desires. Not only did a lot of those verses talk about how it's wrong, it also talked about how to overcome it, how to flee from it specifically, not avoid it. Like, it's gonna come up, but what do you do when it comes up to you? You flee. You don't follow it. You flee and you go the other way, and you follow the righteousness and the love and the purity of God instead. And I also feel led to read the beginning of, this is the first thing on the Bible, and it says, "You tell on yourself. You tell on yourself by the friends you seek, by the very manner in which you speak, by the way you employ your leisure time, by the use you make of your dollar and dime. You tell what you are by the things you wear, by the spirit in which the burden you bear, by the manner in which you bear defeat, by a simple thing as how you eat. You tell what you are by the way you walk, by the things of which you delight to talk, by the book you choose from well-filled shelf. And these ways and more you tell on yourself." So I think that's just a little poem talking about your actions reflect your heart. So your actions are a reflection of your heart, of have you surrendered your heart to God? Are you surrendering it to him and making your every intent to follow God every day, especially in dating relationships? It's not saying to be perfect in all of those areas. It's saying that actions reflect character. It's just a fact, because you make choices, and it's, why do you make those choices? What are the motives? What are your thoughts? And so a lot of times you can trace it back. It's a cause and effect. If you had this thought, it has an effect of this action. So I encourage you today in your dating relationships to make sure that you're not being unequally yoked. I know that's like marriage, so there's probably a section on marriage in the notes somewhere. But I encourage you to ask God to bless every area of your life, including dating. Pray about it. Make sure to seek God's face about your dating relationships, whom you may be dating. Pray for them. And I also love that verse, how it talked about being an example for all believers. Like in everything we do, be an example. And because there are people looking up to you whether you realize it or not. So I hope this video has blessed you, and I also hope that you have an amazing, blessed day in the Lord. So I will see you next time, and there will be another video on my grandfather's Bible, and I'm looking forward to it. See you next time. Bye!